think my background is my best quality. I started here as a graduate student in fall 2006. I did an MFA in poetry, and then 2 semesters into my grad program, I started teaching Writing and Rhetoric 1 and Writing and Rhetoric 2, and then I graduated, and in the midst of that, I was also what's called a student advocate in the English department, which is almost a much smaller version of being an advisor. We work with freshmen in English classes and help them with problem solving, choosing classes, or even personal concerns that they might have on a smaller scale. So I'm familiar with the students, and then I also have a teacher's perspective, so I hope to use that to give people a more well-rounded approach to solving their problems and picking a schedule and things like that. I think that students should come twice in their first year, their first semester as early as they can, and by the time they're in their second semester, hopefully they've chosen a major and they feel more solid in it. I think by their sophomore year, they should come once in their sophomore year and put together a 4-year plan. It's a really simple grid I do now with students of what 5 classes are you taking in the fall, what 5 in the spring, are you taking summer, and how do you reach that 120? And that way, if you know by your sophomore year your game plan, you can always revisit it. I think once again in the junior year is great, but really students should see their faculty advisors their junior and senior year, because then they get that specialized advice on, okay, which capstone class do I need? Should I do an internship? And those things that require a specialty in marketing. Everyone wants to know how soon they can graduate. You know, how many classes do I have left? How quickly can I do them? A lot of students are anxious to get out because of the economy, and then some are anxious to stay in because they're afraid of getting a job. So everyone wants to know how soon. And that varies for everyone, but I think that for most students, it's simpler than they realize to graduate because you have this opportunity of classes in the summer, J-term, all of that. So the generic answer is, plan your schedule according to your lifestyle, what works for you. And then they also come in with a variety of other questions like, I think I got an unfair grade in my class, or I had a family emergency of this kind. And so really in advising and college advising, we handle a little bit of everything. And if we don't solve the issue, we can refer the students to the best resources. For students graduating this spring in just a few months, it's pretty late to plan their schedule. Hopefully they have their schedule together, but I think the best thing they can do, one, take advantage of their resources, go to the portfolio center, go to counseling services even, because they're probably a little stressed out, they're seniors, and definitely get at least 2 letters of recommendation from faculty members and 1 from a previous boss at an internship. That way they have their 3 references for their resume. And then also, I think they need to absolutely make their last semester a priority, because there are students who have a great schedule, they've done well, and then if they mess up that last semester, they have to come back in the summer or the fall, and no one wants that. So I think despite the fact that we all get senioritis, they should really do their best to get their strongest grades that last semester and finish strong. Those, I think you said for those who started this past fall, so those who have a few years ahead of time, I think the best thing they can do is to construct a balanced schedule and a balanced approach to their schedule. So if they're working part-time, they should be realistic about how many days they're coming to campus, how many classes they're taking. If they're very motivated with their career, if they want an internship, they're going to have less time for friends and parties and things like that. So I think the students who I see doing their best are those who have a balance between their social life and their school life, between jobs and school, and even things like their finances, to know every semester exactly how much money am I paying, how much extra am I paying if I go over 16 credit hours. It makes a big difference over time. And so I think being balanced and just knowing all their resources is the best approach they can take. I think that the most unfortunate scheduling mistake students make is that those who want to graduate quickly, let's say they take 18 hours every semester and they're motivated, and they take 18 hours and they do an internship to graduate quickly, but they become overworked and they end up failing 2 classes. So it sets them behind financially and sets them behind in graduating. So I think the worst scheduling mistake is those who bite off more than they can chew. I think my most unique situations are, they're probably not as exciting to everyone else, but to me as an advisor, the unique and the exciting and challenging ones are students who have a number of concerns, and I get to be the person to help them, which is great. So for instance, there are students who go to school full-time, work full-time, and have children. And then outside of that, they might have a crisis come up that semester, and I can be the one to help them with petitions and with forms. I can help them plan evening classes or find other ways to get credit for internships. And so those are the most unique and challenging, and of course they're also most rewarding because they walk out of here breathing more easily and realizing that they can accomplish their goals. I've found the most exciting classes for students are actually those capstone courses and anything that requires like portfolio development. So all the capstones, and including, you could say an internship is like a capstone, it challenges them, it gets them the chance to have to put their work together, and I think with that students see like, wow, I've progressed, wow, I did good work, and they can see where they're going. So I think the capstones are the most exciting, those final classes they take. Some students even take them over and over again. Classes like portfolio development, they fill up quickly, and some students take them twice. I've seen one take them 3 times. As far as networking, I think that students, especially those who are in the stereotypical 17 to 23-year-old age range, have the best opportunity when they're in college. I think Columbia is the friendliest campus I've ever been to. The students almost always are outgoing and willing to accept different kinds of people. And then you also have the unique opportunity to be with people in your same age range. And they have the same goal of graduating, of finding a career, but also of art. So my networking tip would be to just talk to as many people as you can, and out of those people find those who you wouldn't normally get a chance to talk with. Because once you graduate, really, you'll be around people at your job all day, and then your family and your friends and loved ones. That's about it. So if you've never met someone who's interested in graphic design, for instance, now is the time to meet them. Or if you've never met someone from another country and found out about Spain or Portugal, now is your best shot. Because afterwards, I think your window becomes smaller and smaller as you get focused on your own life.